gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Footy GameDay Squad show. We are without Callum again, so our host today is going to be yours truly and Kerm. Kerm, welcome to the show.
G'day. Yes, we are without Cal again, and I do have the long sleeves on. I am up in Cairns, and it is below 25 degrees, so the long sleeves go on.
How does that feel? Like, I don't think
it's
you get
beautiful.
that too often.
No, it's a nice change. It's still sunny outside, which is good, but it is Baltic.
That is awesome. I'm rugged up as well in Sydney. We don't get such good weather up down here. Sorry, it's been very cold. So this hoodie hasn't come off nearly all winter. But guys, we are here today because of GameDay Squad, the first and only fantasy game using blockchain technology. If you don't know what we are, what we do here, or what we're talking about, check us out down below. We have all of our links. We've got heaps of stuff on our website explaining our game, what it is, taking through step by step of how to get set up as well. We are super excited for the platform that we have launched. We have our seasonal and weekly competitions live at the moment for the rest of the season. So get on board now, get in early. We're super pumped, as you can tell, both smiling. But let's get into the show. And how we start off the preview show is with a bit of fantasy insight about some news around the league. And Kerm, you're going to take it away, mate.
Yes, Thomas, and there is quite a lot of news this week, so strap in and listen up. We've got two massive inclusions for the Demons with dynamic ruck duo Max Gawn and Luke Jackson cleared to play. So Luke Jackson's definitely in by all reports, and Max Gawn, there's still a little bit of doubt, but both are cleared to play this week. And in more good ruck news, which is rare at the moment this year, Tim English is set to play for the Doggies. So that's three massive ruckmen that you get to choose from this week as opposed to last week.
Huge.
In more Doggies news, Caleb Daniel has a chance to play this week, which is massive for them. But off the half back as well, we got some more bad news. Aaron Hall, which we all started last week, is due to miss at least a week with a hammy issue. It was deemed to be a little bit more bad on the day, but some good news for him. It seems to be only about a week. For Richmond, some bad news. Dusty Martin will miss a week again with a hammy issue. Seems to be a hammy week last week. And Nick Floston will miss a week due to a striking suspension, which no one really caught on the day, but cameras everywhere. You can't get away with anything. Nick Floston will miss a week. The Power are set to be bolstered by the returns of Scott Lycett and Zach Butters, which are massive for them. They're going to really love having a really big ruckman playing for them, a natural ruckman, I should say, because Jeremy Finlayson has been okay pitch hitting in the ruck, but Scott Lycett will
He's
resume
been doing his best, hey. He's
Yeah.
been trying, but you can just tell he's a forward naturally. It's been tough for him.
Yeah, you need Scott Lycett in there when you can. GWS could shake up their midfield with Jacob Hopper ready to return. Now, GWS has, since the coaching change, have been quite good in the midfield with Stephen Canilio playing almost full-time in there, but there might be a little bit of a shake-up with Jacob Hopper ready to return. The Lions are going to be without veteran duo Dane Zorko and Daniel Rich for at least a week. Again, hammy issues, the hammy round 16 of AFL footy in 2022. And last but not least, Andrew McGrath could return from the Bombers, which will be a massive inclusion for them.
Check your fantasy lineups. There are 1,000 outs this week. Oh my goodness. Thank you for the news. See, if you don't check into the show, you wouldn't know. So there you go.
Got you covered.
Yeah, heaps to consider this week. Some huge names in, but I think even bigger names out. Yeah, that list was long, and you're right, the hammy round of round 16. Watch out for next year because clearly that round is cursed. But let's get into our next little part here, and this is one of my favourite parts of both shows. It is the pack of the week. And the reason why I love this one so much is that we love giving back to our community, to all the people who have adopted our game and gotten on board, and this is our chance to do so. And I get to do it every week by selecting a winner, and they get to win a 3x3 common player pack to make their team even better. And this week I've gone with the XRP effect.
Whoa.
And I'll be honest with you, the pack is good. It's not great. It's not fantastic. It's definitely beatable. And I know that 20 people got their rewards last night from GameDay Squad. And if all of you submitted your packs, there's a good chance you could have won. So guys, I'm stressing, please get on our Discord, get on all of our socials, send me your pack of the week, and there's no harm in doing it. The worst case, you're not going to win. Best case, free packs weekly. So
Exactly. Not a bad pack. You still get Jake Lloyd and Will Brodie, but as you said, there are better packs out there, I imagine.
Yeah, absolutely. And even Ware down there, I know I've got him in my lineup. I have to consider
Yeah.
starting him some weeks. It's getting pretty rough for me. But again, submit all your packs through our Discord, or alternatively, go to our socials, and good luck for next week. But now we're going to head into the question of the round. Of course, we are talking round 17. We are looking into the future. Kerm, what is your question of this round?
My question is a little bit of a it's a question that was sort of answered last week, but I want to see if he can back it up. It's Kadeem Coleman from the Brisbane Lions. I just want to see if he can back up his career best game with Daniel Rich out. He scored 122 GDS fantasy points last week with Daniel Rich off the field for most of the game, taking kick-ins. The Lions loved having it in his hands coming out of halfback. And to be honest, I'm all in on this guy. He's going to be starting for me this week. I've got a gold Kadeem Coleman, and he's going to be starting up front for me because he is a forward in game day squad positioning. But he does play off halfback for the Brisbane Lions this year. So that's my question of the round. Will Kadeem Coleman back it up after a career round best? We'll see.
Yeah, he's looking prime too as well with the two, veterans of the team being out. The
Yeah.
opportunity is definitely there. So that's a great question. And for me, as you know, I'm in the Caps League, so I run it a little bit differently to Kerm and Callum. I have to consider a couple of different things. But if you saw the pack opening that we recorded a couple of weeks ago, if you haven't already, go check it out after this. I went through about my strategy and what I was going to do. And one of the things I spoke about was nominating a team captain. And I've sort of gone
Ooh,
MIA since then and haven't nominated my captain, but I'm here now with the news of who my team captain is. And that is Jordan Dawson from the Adelaide Crows. I have
nice.
a gold card in the back line. He has been by far my best player this year. He is Mr. All Reliable. I feel really good making him my captain of the franchise. But this turns back to my question of the round. And my question is he going to be able to maintain his super high average of 150 game day squad fantasy points with his gold multiplier on the card? I've got a big ask for him this week. I've given him the promotion. And as you know, sometimes when people get given the promotion, they can crumble under the pressure. I want to see if he's going to stand up and deliver for me.
He's a stud, mate. He is an absolute fantasy stud, and he's going to be a stud for a long time. I think he's only 24 years old, maybe 25.
Yeah.
And he's got the keys to the car down back for Adelaide, so I think he's going to be very good for fantasy for a very, very long time.
Exactly, and a lot of these factors played into why he was going to be the captain because I feel like the role he's playing right now is going to be the same for me over the next 4 to 5 years. And ex-Swanee, that doesn't hurt at all. But anyway, we'll move on. We'll move on. Of course, we're looking round 17 and we want to look at the changes that we have made to our squad. Now, Kerm, you are coming off the best week you could have possibly had, finishing first. So I want to know, as a person who's finishing first and technically Game Day Squad's best fantasy coach out right now,
I'll take that.
oh yes, are you making any changes? Is there anything to change in your team?
I am making some changes, so
Oh
I'm not
my, let's
invincible.
go.
I'm not invincible, and I hinted at one earlier on in the show. It's Kadeem Coleman. He's coming into my forward line, replacing a gold Connor Rosie, actually. And that is because I'm bringing in Zach Butters as well. I've got a platinum Zach Butters who's replacing a platinum Riley West. Riley West really let me down last week. I had some high hopes. It was a bit of a sort of a shot in the dark with Riley West, but Zach Butters I think could be a little bit more safe. I've also
Yep.
been forced to take out Aaron Hall as well with that injury, and I'm bringing in a silver Lockie Whitfield, so there's not a lot of discrepancy there. They're a bit like for like in terms of score. And right now I haven't made a midfield change, but with Jacob Hoppin news, I might take out Stephen Canelio and bring in a Tom Liberatore. That might be something we might look into, but that would be the only other change I make this week.
Wow, that is a tough decision.
It
Cornelia and
is.
Libba, both of those people are playing really, really good footy at the moment. I feel like both of their floors are quite high. Their ceilings are very high as well in terms of scoring. That's some great decisions to be making, though. For me, I don't get the luxury of that, unfortunately. So let me go through the changes that I made because I got a particular person in my rewards for finishing third this week that I
Ooh.
think is going to be a game changer for my team. And I don't want to spoil anything yet. So let's go through. Last week I made no changes. This week is full of them, as I mentioned, for good reason. I am embarking on a road to glory with my franchise. So the players that I get, I can't really just go out and spend packs every week. The only packs I will be opening are from my rewards. So I got to stick with the players in my club. But this person I got in my rewards has forced me to drop a silver Tom Papley, a silver Tom Lynch, and a silver Charlie Spargo. And as you can see there,
Wow.
all of those players are in the forward line. So the backs and the mids have not been touched as of yet. The players that are coming in, though, are a bronze Luke Dalhouse. This is not the player. A bronze Bailey Banfield. And the player that we have changed the whole team for, it is a gold Tim Taranto into the forward line.
Oh,
He's playing some good
that's
footy. And I have
massive.
a little 1-2 punch from GWS with Taranto and Canelio in the midfield at the moment. I'm very excited to run it. I'm a little bit nervous though because this is a bit hit and miss. I'm going all in on one player. I do usually like to have a well-balanced team. I'm sort of getting rid of that concept with this decision that I've made. We'll see how it pays out. We can always reverse it if it doesn't work next week, but I have a lot of confidence in my team moving forward. And as you guys can see there as well, I am 12 million out of 12 million on the dot on the cap. So it's not like I can make any other changes and put any other upgrades in there. I am locked for this round, and I'm super pumped to see how the team's going to perform.
Tim Taranto, that's a little bit naughty. I think he scored 151 without any multipliers last week, so he's in
Yep.
red hot form.
Well, I saw that. I saw that and was like, that is a no-brainer. I have to put that in. It's Charlie Spargo. Papley hurts the most out of the three, if I'm being honest
Hmm.
with you. Tom Lynch, I'm quite happy to get rid of after last week's performance.
Yeah.
And yeah, round 17, I can't wait. For our next part here, we are going to put some players on the hot seat, see how hot their cheeks really are in terms of fantasy performance. We love this segment here because we need to keep players accountable in the league, and this is what we're doing. So, Kerm, why don't you take it away with your hot seat nomination this week?
I will, and I'm gonna scorch some butts here from our own podcast and the GDS team here, because I know certain members of the pod and the team have quite an infatuation with Isaac Heaney. But the fact of the matter is, he's been super inconsistent, and I really need him to string a few good games together to hold the top spot of the seasonal ladder. But if Isaac Heaney can get going, he's going to be an absolute mainstay in my team. But if he can't keep those games together and string the consistency together, I might have to start thinking about something else.
Fair enough. If you compare his first 5 weeks of the season, I remember we were talking about he's in Brownlow level form this year,
Yeah, we were.
and
We were.
we look now and he's struggling to even crack triple digits. And you got people like Doherty and Laird and just so many people just doing it week in and week out. He's not even
Yeah.
in contention anymore, let's be honest.
72 points last week.
Oh, man.
That's not what you want from Isaac Heaney.
It's not. I am optimistic about him moving forward. Of course, he's locked in and penciled in for the Sydney Swans until he's
He is.
31 years old. He's only 26 right now, so there's plenty of time for him. And of course, we're a dynasty game, but I understand your scenario. Can you play him? Do you have confidence in playing him right now?
That's the
I'm not
thing.
sure.
That's the thing. What about your hot seat, mate?
I think we're roasting Sydney Swans players this week because I've
Oh,
gone with
another
another
one.
one in Jake
Ooh,
Lloyd.
fair enough.
Yes,
Fair
and
enough.
I do love Lloyd. But I don't understand his consistency this year. And you look at his game by game scoring, and you can see why fantasy managers would be frustrated with a player like Jake Lloyd because he will go from dropping 160 points in a week, and then the two games on either side of that, he can barely crack 75 GameDay Squad
Yeah.
fantasy points. And, when you're trying to put in a player like Jake Lloyd and you got some tough decisions to make over some other ones, that is a really tough decision to make, firstly. But we need some consistency. And statistically in fantasy, Lloyd is having his worst career year since 2016. He has some time to amend that. Of course, we have plenty of weeks left of footy. But I guess my thing is, are we going to see some consistency from him heading towards the tail end of the season? Or is this now the new Jake Lloyd?
Frustrating is a great word because his ceiling is as high as anyone as a defender. But as you say, these flaws that he's hitting, he's never hit before. So frustrating is a very, very good word to describe Jack Lloyd this year because you just don't know what you're going to get ever.
Yeah, boom and bust
Yeah.
every week for sure. But no Callum stat of the week this week, which I'm a bit upset about. He's had some fire ones at the moment. Recently, sorry, he's had some really good ones. But we're going to go into a segment which I need to bring up. There's some speculation, Kern. You know,
Ooh.
Callum's missed 2 shows now, back to back. He rarely misses a show. And let's just flick it over to the lock of the round leaderboard. We can see there's been a change in position here.
There has been a change.
Yeah, so you're on top right now. You've had a good week last week. Callum's fallen down to second. I had a shocker of a week as well with my Viney pick. I think I'll never do that again. I had some
But you're
confidence in
here.
him. But I'm here.
You
I
are
always
here.
grind it out. Callum's lost another segment, another thing, and he is a no-show. There is huge speculation that he's got a lot of head noise going on right now in terms of AFL fantasy. But let's move in to our lock of the rounds. Kerm, seeing as you're on top, I'm going to let you start because I want to know what you're going to do this week.
Yeah, sure. Last week I had Andrew Brayshaw, who I had him locked in for 125, and he hit that pretty comfortably. He said Willem Doohoo and tore up Callum's power at home. So I'll take that green tick any day of the week. But going into this week, it's one of my very own. He's close to my heart, and that's Sam Doherty. Cal had him last week for 120, and I'm going to put him in for 120 this week. So just a little bit of rub into the wound there if he hits it, and I think I'm quietly confident that he will.
Man, so you're going to just rub it straight in. If he hits this, man, that's going to be so funny. But last week, you two went for 2 stud fantasy players, and Doherty and Brayshaw, and you're doing it again. You're going for another top player.
Yep.
I love the mindset. We're at the tail end of the year. You're trying to get that edge. But I've just been sent Callum's lock of the round. So, of course, Kerm just touched on it. He went for Doherty last week. Doherty had one of his worst games of the season. Now, his worst games of the season is still scoring around that 90 to 100 GameDay Squad fantasy points, which for some would be their career best. So let's not slander Doherty. He is having a career year, all right? But unfortunately for Callum, he couldn't get what he asked for. But this week, he is looking at his own Port Power. He's looking for some productivity there. He is going aim on for 115 GameDay Squad fantasy points. He has locked that in this round. We will see how that plays out, but it's going to really hurt. Firstly, if you hit yours, and secondly, if he doesn't because it's his own Port Power, and you've used his player from last week, there is a lot on the line.
Amon had a stanger last week too, so this will be a big bounce back.
Yeah, he's counting on the bounce back for sure.
He is.
But I want to get into my lock of the round this week because I made an executive decision right before we started last week to switch my player into Viney. So it wasn't Viney at first. It was actually Rory Laird, and I had him down for the exact same fantasy points. And if you saw Rory Laird's game last week against the Demons, you would know that he smashed expectations and got like 150 plus points in the game. So I really regretted that, and I sat down and I was like, how do I make amends? And how I do that is picking Rory Laird this week. Why did I ever doubt this player? Why did I ever substitute anyone for him? So I'm going with Rory Laird from the Adelaide Crows, and I'm locking him in for 125 GameDay Squad fantasy points. I'm quite confident with this one, with the form that he's been in. And just quietly, I don't know if you've seen, but with the AFL fantasy leaderboards, Rory Laird has officially overtaken Brayshaw as the number 1 spot as the current MVP of AFL fantasy. So he's going to be looking to maintain his spot at the top, but then Brayshaw's going to be looking to come grab his spot back, which he's held for so long, just quietly.
Stud.
So big shock there. Stud. Absolute stud. Yeah, absolutely. But mate, that is going to wrap us up there for another AFL preview show of round 17. If you have made it this far, we really appreciate it here at the GameDay Squad Network. But do us a favor, leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you are new around here. You can push the post notifications on if you want to be notified about when we upload and do our AFL fantasy reviews, previews, all of the good stuff, because we're giving you plenty of insight to help you get game day ready for our weekly and seasonal competitions, as I mentioned before. I think that's going to wrap us up. Kerm, have you got anything you want to leave with the viewers?
Just get game day ready for week 17. Let's get stuck in.
Get game day ready. Exactly right. And good luck. We'll catch you next time.